Good morning, I'm Sarah Chitrakar and these are the headlines of the hour. 2568th Buddha Jayanti being celebrated across the world and in the country with much fervor. Kirat community celebrates Ubhauli festival. Chandeshwari festival begins in Banipa. The Society of Professional Journalists calls on the government to conduct an impartial investigation on KMG Chair Siroiya, urges the authority to reaffirm its commitment to a free and unfettered press. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak announces a national election for 4th of July. Opposition Labour Party widely ahead in most of the opinion polls by double digits. And Atlanta eased to a 3-0 victory over Bayer Leverkusen to lift the Europa League title, bringing an end to the German side's unbeaten streak. 2568th Buddha Jayanti is being celebrated across the world and in Nepal with much fanfare and fervor today. The day is observed every year on the full moon day as per lunar calendar, as Buddha's birth, enlightenment and death falls on the same day. Siddhartha Gautama was born on this day 2568 years ago in 563 BC in Lumbini. Born as a prince to King Suddhodhan and Queen Mayadevi, Siddhartha Gautama abandoned the palace and went in search for enlightenment. After 6 years of meditation, he got enlightenment at the age of 35 in India's Bodh Gaya on the full moon day. At the age of 36, Buddha preached his first sermon on the Four Noble Truths to 5 disciples in Sarnath. It is also known as the Noble Eightfold Path or the Panchashila. The Noble Eightfold Path consists of right view, right resolve, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Likewise, the Kirat community is celebrating Ubhauli festival today. The community, which is also known as nature worshippers, marks the day by praying to Mother Nature for healthy crops and protection from natural disasters throughout the year. The Kirati community gathers on this day, exchange greetings and perform Sakela dance, wishing good health, longevity and prosperity to all. Likewise, Chandeshwari Jatra has officially begun from today. The festival is specially observed in Banipa and its surrounding areas of Kabre Palanchok district. A procession is held along with traditional musical instruments to take the chariot to Chandeshwari, which is returned the next day with the idol of Hindu goddess. The festival kicks off on the full moon day and continues for the next 2 days. Women have pulled the chariot of Red Machindranath early this morning, which is the longest festival of Kathmandu Valley. They pulled the chariot from Iti Toll of Lalitpur's Patan to 30 Chok, covering around 100 meters. As per the age-old tradition, women pull the chariot a day after a coconut is dropped from the pinnacle of the chariot as it reaches Lagan Hill. Thousands of women, regardless of their age, participate in the procession to demonstrate that women are capable of achieving anything they want. Women from all communities can take part in the procession. The Red Machindranath chariot, which is 32 hands tall, is worshipped as the god of rain and abundance. The chariot procession had started from 11th May from Lalitpur's Pulchok. The Society of Professional Journalists SPJ has called on the government to conduct an impartial investigation on Kantipur Media Group Chair Kailas Siroiya. Issuing a statement, President of SPJ Ashanti Blaise Hopkins urged the government to release Siroiya and reaffirm its commitment to a free and unfettered press. Hopkins questioned the Federation of Nepali Journalists regarding the real intention behind Siroiya's arrest. Likewise, the statement questions whether act of arresting Siroiya out of vengeance was to threaten the entire press community. Siroiya was arrested at the Thapathali office of Kantipur Media Group on Tuesday on the pretext of the controversy surrounding his citizenship certificate. Thanusha District Court gave permission to remand him in custody for 3 days yesterday. Kantipur had published the news regarding embezzlement of 958.1 million rupees by 4 cooperatives and the transfer of 803.1 million rupees to Gorkha Media from the cooperatives at the time when Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister Ravi Lamichhane was the managing director of the company. A large number of police personnel were immediately mobilized at the office of Kantipur Publications and Thapathali area. Editors of various media outlets have jointly drawn the attention of Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal against the arrest of Kantipur Media Group chairperson Kailash Siroia. Editors Pratik Pradhan, Shiva Gaule, Amit Thakal, Kiran Nepal, Yuvraj Khimire, Sudhir Sharma, Hari Bahadur Thapa, Umesh Chauhan, Vijay Paudel and Rupesh Shrestha among others drew attention of the Prime Minister, saying Home Minister Ravi Lamichhane had appeared in an aggressive manner against the media. The memorandum submitted jointly by the editors notes that serious questions were raised by the hasty and vindictive arrest of Kailash Siroia. The editors have said that the arrest after entering a media organization was conducted with the objective of applying pressure on the media and creating fear. The memorandum also reminds that despite Home Minister Lamichhane receiving a new citizenship, actions should be taken against him for holding 2 passports at once. The editors have also drawn the Prime Minister's attention on the Home Minister's efforts to muzzle the media. The Prime Minister has also been requested to create a fair environment to continue police investigations on Home Minister Lamichhane. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked in several provinces what their suggestion is to ensure public's rights and freedom of speech. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
राज्यले चाहिँ ती नागरिकका हक अधिकारलाई संरक्षण गर्नु पर्यो।
मौलिक हक अधिकारहरू चाहिँ जति पनि छन् त्यसलाई चाहिँ राज्यले चाहिँ कुनै पनि रूपमा चाहिँ हनन गर्नु भएन।
नागरिकले के अधिकार पाउनु पर्ने हो, कसको लागि हो, किन हो भनेर यसको लागि वृहत रूपमा नागरिकलाई अवगत गराउनु पर्यो।
सरकारले हाम्रो अधिकारलाई हननकार गरियो भने हामी चाहिँ चुप लागेर बस्दैनौं।
संविधानमा लेखिएका अधिकारका कुराहरू चाहिँ जोसुकै नागरिकहरूले उठाए पनि त्यसमा चाहिँ सत्ता पक्षले चाहिँ त्यसको हनन गर्न पाइएन।
संविधानले बोल्ने र हिँड्ने अधिकार दिएको छ। यदि सरकारले यो बोल्ने र हिँड्ने अधिकारलाई चाहिँ कुण्ठित गर्न खोज्यो भने हामी सडकमा जान तयार छौं।
अधिकारको लागि हामीलाई लड्ने, हाम्रो लागि बोल्दिने भनेको एउटा एकदमै महत्त्वपूर्ण भनेको पत्रकार साथीहरू हुन् जसले चाहिँ हाम्रो कुरा उठाइदिने, बोल्दिने गर्नुहुन्छ।
संविधानले नै जुन कुराको ग्यारेन्टी गरेको छ यो सरकारले नै गर्नुपर्छ।
स्वतन्त्रताको लागि चाहिँ राज्य जिम्मेवार हुनुपर्छ।
संविधान छ त्यसमा उल्लेख भएका कुराहरूलाई कार्यान्वयन गर्नु आवश्यकता देखिन्छ।
के हक अधिकार छ भन्ने कुरा कहाँ गएर बोल्नुपर्ने त्यो हाम्रो एउटा पत्रकारले राम्ररी गर्नुहुन्छ हैन। त्यही भएर उहाँहरूको पनि मान सम्मान गरिदिनु पर्यो।
Around 31,373 cooperatives are in operation across the country, of which 500 have not returned the money of their depositors. The government had declared 20 of them as troubled, of which 17 have mishandled 35 billion rupees. This includes Shiv Shikhar Cooperatives that has failed to return 9,490 million rupees of its 5,443 depositors. Kedarnath Sharma of the cooperatives, who also opened another cooperative named Tulasi Cooperatives, has mishandled another 1,550 million rupees of public's money. Likewise, Kantipur Savings and Credit Cooperatives has yet to return 6,780 million rupees of depositors' money. Former operator of the cooperatives, Chandra Bahadur Lama himself, has taken a loan of 1,590 million rupees. Likewise, he has also been alleged of mishandling another 1,110 million rupees in Pashupati Saving and Credit. Many of those who have been alleged of mishandling cooperatives' money have been absconding, while many are still walking scot-free as the government has yet to fulfill its commitment of taking action against the faulty operators. The government has also yet to arrest GB Rai, who has mishandled 1,110 million rupees of Pokhara's Surya Darshan cooperatives, 1,070 million rupees of Butwal's Supreme cooperatives, another 1 billion rupees from Swarna Lakshmi of Kathmandu, and 50 million rupees from Hamro Nare Krishi cooperatives. Time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question: why has the situation for the victims of cooperatives to resort to protest surfaced again? The options are A, abuser in power, B, government indifference, and C, to apply pressure. Voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Time now for international update. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak called a national election for July 4th yesterday, saying Britons would be able to choose their future in a vote his Conservatives are widely expected to lose to the opposition Labour Party after 14 years in power. Ending months of speculation as to when he would call a new vote, 44-year-old Sunak stood outside his Downing Street office in pouring rain and announced he was calling the election earlier than expected, a risky strategy with his party far behind Labour in the opinion polls. Almost shouting to be heard above an anthem associated with the Labour Party played by protesters just outside the gates to Downing Street, Sunak listed what he said were his achievements in government, not only as Prime Minister but also as a former Finance Minister. Sunak said he would fight for every vote in the coming weeks to prove that only a Conservative government under his lead will not put their hard-earned economic stability at risk. Sunak heads into the election not only far behind the Labour Party in the polls, but also somewhat isolated from some in his party, increasingly dependent on a small team of advisors to steer him through what is said to be an ugly campaign. A member of Bangladesh's ruling party was found murdered in the Indian city of Kolkata yesterday, more than a week after he went missing. 56-year-old Anwarul Azim Anar, who won his third consecutive term in a constituency in the border district of Jhenaidah from the Awami League party, went missing on May 13, a day after going to India for medical treatment. Bangladeshi Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan said that 3 Bangladeshis were arrested over the lawmaker's death. He said Bangladesh police and Kolkata police were conducting a joint probe and could not disclose all information at the moment for the sake of the investigation. Indian police said that a murder case had been registered in the matter. Akhilesh Chaturvedi, a senior police officer in West Bengal, said that they have secured video footage from the housing complex where he was staying during the visit. Another senior police officer who requested anonymity said the assailants may be linked to terror outfits. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina expressed her condolences and deep grief over the lawmaker's death. Secretary of State Antony Blinken was repeatedly interrupted by protesters condemning the U.S. policy towards ally Israel and its war on Gaza as he testified before United States Senate committees. At the hearing yesterday before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, Blinken flinched from a protester who approached him from behind, waving a sign that said "criminal" before security officers carried her out of the room. The chairpersons of the Senate Foreign Relations and Senate Appropriations Committees halted the hearings at least 6 times, while Blinken was delivering his opening statements as demonstrators stood up to shout their opposition to the administration's position and accuse him of being a war criminal and being responsible for a genocide against the Palestinian people. Several silent protesters held up their hands stained with red paint or dye behind Blinken during his appearances. Amid protests, Blinken said that the Biden administration remains concerned about Israel's possible use of heavy bombs against civilians in the southern Gaza city of Rafah and is in contact with Israel about it. Protests in support of Gaza have intensified across the U.S., including on college campuses, where there have been hundreds of arrests. The Eastern Theater Command of the Chinese People's Liberation Army started joint military drills surrounding the island of Taiwan from 7:45 a.m. this morning. The drills are being conducted in the Taiwan Strait, the north, south and east of Taiwan Island, as well as areas around the islands of Kinmen, Matsu, Wiku and Dongyin. Li Shi, spokesperson of the Theater Command, said military services including the Army, Navy, Air Force and Rocket Force of the Theater Command are being organized to conduct the joint drills, codenamed Joint Sword 2024A, until tomorrow. The drills focus on joint sea-air combat readiness patrol, joint seizure of comprehensive battlefield control, and joint precision strikes on key targets, Li said, adding that the exercises involve the patrol of vessels and planes closing in on areas around the island of Taiwan and integrated operations inside and outside the island chain to test the joint real combat capabilities of the forces of the command. Japan's chief cabinet secretary said that Tokyo would directly and clearly communicate to Beijing the importance of maintaining peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait. Yoshimasa Hayashi, Japan's top government spokesperson, also told a regular press conference that it was important to work with the United States and other allies to convey their common stance over China-Taiwan relations. China started 2 days of punishment drills around Taiwan earlier today in what it said was a response to separatist acts, prompting Taiwan's military to mobilize its forces. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.